My grandmother, she grew up in Indianapolis, and then she was in her 20s. She just wanted to find a place where she could ride horses. Like that was I think the sole criteria that she considered. So she moved from Indianapolis to Zionsville, and it was just very rural, very boring. Everyone thought she'd last like a month or two and then she'd get restless, but she lived the rest of her life out here, almost 80 years in Zionsville. And Wild Air was a name my grandfather came up with, just a little inspired moment. Wild Air was just a name they used for their property. So this was Wild Air, and then we had Wild Air Farms off of Hunt Club Road. Wild Air Farms off of Hunt Club has been an equestrian property, for longer than I've been alive. It's where we have the stables and the horse shows and all that. And that will continue to be what it is. This area over here, that is part of the Wild Air legacy. This has changed. Its suitability as kind of a quiet farm household for horses is just doesn't fit with this space as well anymore. But it's a piece of Wild Air. And so we're really proud and honored that it'll carry that Wild Air name. Old Town just impressed us very early on with just sort of how intentional and thoughtful they wanted to be about the design. What I found really appealing about the design Old Town came up with, and the fact that I got to be a part of that conversation as the design was happening, was creating a very intentional community, again with a diverse range of housing products and great amenities, and neighborhoods that were all connected by a very thoughtful trail system. These developments are incredibly complex. I mean, it took us 3 years. It's been 3 years of work to get to where we are today. Working with Old Town for 2.5 of those years. But to have the expertise and the vision to pull it off, I'm really glad we found somebody who could do that. So much attention to detail that I don't think you get in a lot of these developments. Sometimes you find attractive structures, but they're put together in a way that just feels almost haphazard, And I think what we wanted to see here and what we've realized is a place that when it's built, all the pieces just fit together so nicely. And I think that's really what creates a sense of community and identity. The fact that, you can easily get around, you can go walk through the woods to the coffee shop, or you can go down the old driveway trail, and get to the restaurants and the parks in town. I think when you do really thoughtful design like Old Town does, it almost, if you come into it after it's done, feels like it just sort of happened naturally, right? Like it's just everything sort of found its ideal place in the space. I found the multifamily and the different housing products like really an appealing part of the design, and in my imagination is something I want to see, because I really love the idea that you might have this like young professional, like, just out of college, whatever, and like they can find a place there, right? They get their first apartment, and then, maybe they fall in love and they upgrade to a townhome or something. They have kids and they move into a single family house, and then, later in life, the kids move off to start their own families and they downsize to something else. And that you can have all that within this community here. Like wherever you are in life, there'd be a place for you. I really liked that idea about the design. I think from my perspective, what really determines, whether or not it's a successful project is when we come here 10, 20 years down the road, how do we feel visiting this neighborhood, right? And I really think and hope that we'll come here and we'll feel like this is something that has always been a part of Zionsville, that it feels like it belongs, and it's still a place where people love to live and work and play. I think if we can pull that off, that'll be how I define success, and I think we're going to get there, but it'll take a generation to find out.